Okay, hey YouTube. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make those furry headbands and those furry boots. Here go the boot. Already made one. And I'm going to be making the other one for you guys today. It's really easy and it's fun. I'm also going to show you guys where I got the fabric from, where I got the boots. Okay, so let's get right into it. Okay, this is me at Joann Fabrics. I was trying to decide what kind of fabric I wanted to get, and I just wanted to show you guys what kind of fabric they did have in stock at this time. They had some really pretty colors. This blue, they had a pretty white. I was thinking about doing white. They had like turquoise, lime, this really bright lime green. This, I liked this one as well. They had a lot of nice colors, and the color I decided to go was pink, and it's only $14.99 a yard. Some of them are more expensive, like the white glittery is more expensive and the black. But yeah, Joann Fabrics is where I got the fabric from. I got 1 yard. 1 yard will do you just fine. Then I went actually like right next door to a $10 shoe store. Well, $20 shoe store. Most times the shoes are $10, but I guess since it's winter, the boots were $20. But I was just looking for some regular UGG-like boots, the boots that resemble the Uggs. Them are the kind that I was trying to get, not black, like a brown kind. So that's what I was looking for in this store. And this store actually has a lot of nice, cheap boots. You know, especially for the winter time. The stuff is actually nice for the price. See, look at those boots. Nice leather boots or fake leather. But yeah, I was looking for some regular boots. No, I wanted some boots like these, just without the extra stuff on there. So that's what I was looking for, and I wanted to be that color since I was using pink. Okay, now what you're going to need for this DIY is thread. I decided to get pink thread to go with the pink fur. Scissors, of course. Oh, you don't need elastic. That was for the headbands. And those are the boots I ended up getting. Okay. And of course, you're going to need your fur. I told you guys I got 1 yard. I was going to get 2 yards, but I saw how much 1 yard was, and I was like, this is perfect. I don't need 2 yards. So I already went ahead and measured the yard around the boot and cut it, because just me trying to measure just was taking so long. I don't want to have a super long extended video. So I measured it again just to be safe, and make sure when you cut it, you got the fur laying down. You don't want to cut the fur while it's up. So I was just making sure it fit once again, and make sure I wanted to leave maybe like 1 inch or 2 or 1.5 inches over the top, because you don't want it to be the exact length of the boot at the top, because you're going to see why. But yeah, make sure you, and once you cut it, you should measure it again, of course. So I'm just making sure everything fits, and I'm laying it down flat onto the boot. Excuse me, guys. I was being greedy because I was hungry and pregnant. So I had to stop and take a little meal break. But look, you see how that fur gets everywhere? Okay, so now I threaded my needle and knotted at the end, of course. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the piece of it. I want to land flat. I wanted the fur laying down, and I'm going to sew it right onto this part right above the sole of the boot. I guess that's what it's called. See, I wanted to sew it onto the bottom of the boot, but it actually wouldn't go through. It's a different, some boots are like more fabricy down there. That boot was like rubber down there, so I couldn't sew it through that part. So I decided to just sew it onto the part that I showed you, and I'm going to sew the end of the fur to the as closest to the bottom of that piece as I can. My baby just woke up. Okay, see, I'm going to put it through. I'm actually going to put it through the fur first. Make sure I get it all the way through. You want to make sure you grab it because sometimes it will knot up. And then I'm going to sew it onto the boot first. I'm going to start on the back so I can meet both. When I'm done, I can meet back around at the back, and that can be where I end the sew. And when you first put it through, like the first 2 times you go through, you're going to want to knot it just to make sure it's secure back there, because you don't want it to be loose right there. So after I put that first line through, the second one I'm going to do a little double knot just to make sure it's secure back there. Yes, I'm going to make a knot. And this thread, since it's so thin, it will knot up sometimes, so you got to make sure that you're being very careful with the thread, because once it knot, by it being so thin, it might snap or break. So I had to make sure I was being really careful. So basically what I'm going to do is just sew all the way around all the way till I get to the back, and when I get to the back, I'm going to knot it again. So I have sewed it all the way around onto the ends. I knotted it when I first sewed it, and I knotted it when I ended it, and it matched up evenly in the back. So now I'm just gonna take the top and I laid it over the front boot to make sure it's all even and laid down, and I'm going to tuck the top part into the boot. Yep. Tuck the top part into the boot to get it to the full length, because I don't want it that long, and I really want the boots to be secure, and I want it to even, like, when you look in the boot, to look like it's all pink and fur. I don't want the extra. So when I tuck that part into the boot, I'm going to take my needle, and it's already threaded and it's already knotted at the end, and I'm going to sew that part that I pushed down. I'm going to sew it all around so that part can lay. So when you look inside the boot, it looks like it looks all pink. You can't see the brown. So, and what I decided to do, I did not want to go up around the boot, because I didn't want the thread to like look kind of funny. So I just decided to go on the sides, not go up around the boot, just to stay out, go in and out through the boot, just so you won't have the thread pushing down on the fur. You hear my son in the background? So yes, that's what I'm doing. And I'm also watching TV at the same time. And drinking water. Excuse my ghetto-ness. But yeah, I'm just sewing it all around and making sure that it's nice and making sure that it's secure. And I didn't show you guys what I did after I had got done sewing the bottom around. I actually sewed, after I put the 2 flaps together, I actually sewed up the back just to make sure that was secure. I didn't do nothing extra, just sewed it up and knotted it. It didn't have to be like super tight. I just wanted that no flaps was open, or no extra parts were showing. And when you get done sewing around, of course, you're going to knot the thread to secure it. This is what you're going to do. And sometimes it can be kind of hard trying to pull the needle and thread through. But just keep going. And I'm going to show you guys the finishing touch. Okay, I am all done sewing. Now, you can't see the bottom of the boot, but once the boots are laying flat, you can't really see them. But now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pluck little pieces and trim it up. Because at the bottom, when I sewed it around, it's some pieces that the thread had caught on to. So I'm going to take my needle and pull those pieces out. Yes. And the same thing with the top. And I'm going to just do a little trim and try to get it to my liking. You don't have to trim it. If it looks the way you like it once you get done, you don't have to trim it. You can leave it how it is. But it was just pieces that, if you look, it was pieces that was kind of stuck into the thread. So I want to pluck them out. Now I'm going to show you guys the finishing touches, but if you want to see how you make the headbands, you can, the link will be in the description box. And yes, the link will be in the description box. And I want you guys to thumbs up this video if it was helpful. And I would like for you guys to subscribe to Keeping Up with Cherry. This is my first time making the boots. I will be making more, and I will show you guys the finishing touch of the boots and the headband all together.